It's Sandra here from Create in Spain. And usually for me, the first thing I'm going to do on this card is to stamp the greeting. And that's because I want to get this off of my desk out of the way because it's taking up a fair amount of room. And because I know full well that, knowing me, stamping, heat embossing is the bit that's going to go wrong. If anything's going to go wrong, that's usually it. So I want to put my sentiment on here. And the easiest way of doing that is, and notice I'm using some pattern card scrap, so it doesn't matter what's on the back of it, you see. So the easiest way of doing that is to apply a tiny bit of glue on the back of there, to have a piece of plain white typing paper in my stamp positioner, and to put my piece of paper on like so. I can then give it a little brush over with some talc, which is how I make sure that my embossing powder doesn't go where I don't want it. Now notice I've put the paper right into the left bottom corner, okay, because I want to stamp this, and if I need to do it twice, I can reposition it easily. And because it's a small item, it's far easier just to stick it on a piece of paper to do it. So I've got sending birthday hugs, which I want to put in here. I think that's about right. And I can pick it up. And now I can use my Versamark to stamp it. Whoops. I'm going to put Versamark everywhere going this right. So stamping once and making sure that stays on my paper. Even if this moves, I can now put it back to where it was supposed to be, and I can stamp it again if I need to. This is particularly valuable if you're doing a coloured stamp and then putting an embossing powder over the top. There we are. So hopefully, there we go. Can put my stamp away. I don't need that any longer. And also this gives me a way of holding onto it to put my embossing powder on without getting in a right mess as well. So there's my embossing powder, plenty of embossing powder on there. Now, just because I'm known to be a klutz when it comes to embossing powder, I'm going to move this out the way. And now I can use that to tip it all off. Okay, so I've got my embossing powder on here now, so all I need to do is get my heat gun and to heat it up. So there we are, I have my sentiment nicely embossed. And I can put that piece of paper to one side. Okay, so this is a piece of card that in my previous video I actually coloured with chalk pastels and a stamped image, and just repeat the stamped image in Versamark all over the card, and then randomly apply scraped chalks onto the top of the Versamark. Brush it all away with a big brush and you have a background pattern. Now I liked it enough that I didn't want to cover up vast amounts of it, so I'm doing a very simple design. So what I did, from the reverse side, I took a ruler and I simply lined it up with the base of the card and made a score line with a tool such as that. Then I did another one, and then this side I brought to that line, so we've got a larger section on the back than we have at the front. So it can go like so, or like that. Okay. So this particular piece I have an offset for, so I need to put that onto there, like so. Now I've got a clean board, so I'm going to turn it over that way and press down firmly on it. And so there I have my sentiment, and that is going to go up there, like so. It's not going to go down there, it's going to go up here. And I have some flowers to put on it. To stick it onto this one, I'm actually going to use some double-sided tape. And the easy way of using that is to fold over a piece on itself, and then you'll have a nice piece to grip onto. Okay, so put that on there like that, and then you can just peel off the back. If you've got any overlapping on one edge, make sure you smooth it out. And I think that is where I want it. Just there. There we are. So that's that bit. Now the other bit of a decoration I've cut out some flowers. Now, to show you the difference, I've cut some simple flowers out of plain white card. I'm going to zoom back out again. There we go. I cut some out of plain white card, and they're boring, basically. They're not that interesting. So I'm going to remove those, but I just cut them just to show you. And these ones look a bit more interesting, apart from that one. These are cut from a lightweight embroidery stabilizer. And what I've done is I've actually screwed the sheet of stabilizer up so that it's all wrinkled, so it's got some texture to it. And this particular colour here, I had just sprayed with some paint, or done it with a brush, I can't remember which. I've had it in my stash for a while, because this stabilizer takes colouring really, really well. So basically anything you can do on paper, you can do on the stabilizer. And then you can allow it to dry and you can cut it. It cuts very easily, and it provides these really nice, delicate looking flowers. Now, because I have some shades of turquoise on here, and I have the mauvey, purple, pink, some slight blues on there somewhere, I thought these would make a nice accent for the card. And what I want to do is to apply them around my sentiment. This is supposed to be a nice, quick, easy card to make with relatively small amounts of materials.